All right, we go back to Chicago, Illinois for our fourth review of a beer from Goose Island Brewing Company, or Goose Island Beer Company, I should say, out of Chicago, Illinois. This is Matilda, which is their Belgian Strong Pale Ale. I've never had this before. It's ranked 19th in the world on Beer Advocate. So in this style, we're kind of looking for that pale straw, deep golden color, higher ABV than your normal Belgian Pale Ale. This is kind of on the lower end. This is a 7% ABV. The range that we're looking at is 7 to 12, so this is definitely on the lowest end. IBUs 20 to 40 usually is what we're looking at. In this case, it's 26, so again, on the lower end. Duvel is probably the most renowned Belgian Strong Pale Ale, so that's pretty much the most recognized in the style. As far as malts go, they use two-row C2O debittered black and evaporated cane juice. The hops, they use Millennium, Saaz, and Celeria. And a little bit of interesting information. I may have covered it on my first video with Goose Island, where I go through the history of the brewery. So this brewery was just an independent craft brewery up until 2011 when it was bought by Anheuser-Busch. And this was kind of the acquisition that shook the craft beer world, polarized a lot of people as far as carrying Goose Island beverages. So a lot of bottle shops that carried Goose Island decided not to because they had the big bad Anheuser-Busch is buying them out. They're going to make their beer taste like Budweiser or Bud Light, and not really let the independent craft do what the independent craft should do. So it was started by this guy, John Hall, who worked for the Container Corporation. He opened up a brew pub in 1988. His son, Greg, became the brewmaster, and they produced a ton of talent. Lots of people that went on to found their own breweries or become headmasters, or head brewers, I should say, of the breweries. So you have brewmaster Matt Brynildson from Firestone Walker, Fremont Brewing's Matt Lincoln, and Southern Tier co-founder Finn DeMink, just among several other ones that went on to do other things. So John Hall actually stayed with the company. His son Greg decided to open up Virtue Cider, which I believe he still owns today. So John stayed on. He helped Anheuser-Busch growing its craft and imports division, said, I think we can do this as long as Anheuser-Busch doesn't make this Budweiser, and I think they basically did. So this beer was inspired by the great Trappist ales, according to the synopsis online. Their complex Belgian-style pale ale is fermented with the wild yeast Brettanomyces. Still don't know how to pronounce that. Matilda pours a golden sunrise color with dried fruit and clove aromas, a spicy yeast flavor, and satisfying dry finish. So in the flavor, we're looking for a gently sweet taste with no sourness and low or no Brett character. Still don't know what Brett tastes like, but we'll see. And let's open it up. By the way, I believe Goose Island changed their label art as well. As you can see, the art looks a little different. Kind of just run-of-the-mill, not really too much to write home about as far as that goes. So pour into this wine glass and see what we get. A little bit darker than I thought we were going to get here. This is definitely a golden color, but it's like a dark golden color. I'm looking for a more yellowish color. So this is more of like an IPA kind of look to it with a decent head, probably about 3/4 of a finger or so. Lots of bubbles. And I can hear it as well, so lots of carbonation there. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, definitely getting that effervescent kind of a smell, that maybe a little nutmeg, tart kind of fruit, clove, definitely in there. So it is hitting my nose. It does have a very, very decent aroma to it. Smells like almost like a triple in a way. Maybe a hint of banana as well. So let's get the taste. It tastes like a triple. It tastes like a subtle triple. It definitely has some action going on. This is a great full beer. kind of surprised. In like an American sense of this brew, I wasn't expecting that much. I was more thinking like a lot of the Belgian strong ales in America, they don't really hold a candle to the ones in Belgium. This one actually gives them a run for its money, like Duvel. There's like no bite to this too, which is what I like. I taste the clove, I taste the banana, but there's no like alcoholic bite to it. It's very, very masked, and I think it does just an on point job with taking the style, uh, putting the right amount of ingredients, and just doing it the right way completely. I really, really am impressed by this beer. I didn't really expect that I would be. I'm going to go ahead and give Matilda a 9.5 out of 10. I think it really is hitting on all cylinders for an American version of a Belgian Strong Pale Ale. They did this one right. Um, I guess I'm just kind of looking at maybe a little bit more, and this is just personal preference. It does not look like one, like a Belgian Strong Pale Ale. Um, However, the taste is very good. No bite to it. Maybe amp up that ABV a little more would be my only little gripe with it, which isn't that much. But you amp up that ABV and try to mask that, and you got an even better beer. But this one's as good as it is. That's a 9.5 for Goose Island Beer Company, Matilda.